Record-breaking wildfires continue to tear through parts of Europe as much of the continent remains gripped by heat waves. Forecasters warn that fire-prone conditions will spread towards the centre of the continent this week, with Greece and Turkey among the countries affected. As the wildfire threat starts to shift east, around 8,000 people have been evacuated from the Greek island of Crete. Officials there say 3 firefighters have been killed. Fires are also burning on the island of Lesbos, while a blaze on Paros that was largely contained yesterday has flared up again. And in the Gironde region of France, firefighters continue to battle relentlessly against recurring flare-ups and are bracing themselves for a long-haul operation. Meanwhile, wildfires threatening Madrid have stopped spreading, but the authorities have again warned that the ongoing heat wave threatens a resurgence. More than 25,000 hectares of land has already gone up in smoke. Well, firefighters in eastern England are trying to contain a large wildfire on Dunwich Heath in Suffolk. These are live pictures coming to us from the scene. A major incident has been declared due to the size and the complexity of the blaze. With more on the situation there, here's our reporter Alison Freeman.
The worrying signs visible for miles around. Plumes of smoke in the sky after a large wildfire broke out on heathland on the Suffolk coast yesterday, wind fanning the flames, causing them to spread. 90 firefighters are tackling the blaze, and the fire service says 14 appliances are being used, but it's still not under control and a major incident has been declared. People have been told to keep windows and doors shut, and hundreds have been evacuated from their homes and a holiday park. Many evacuees sheltering at a village hall.
11:30, there was a bang on the door and we were told to leave. No time to pick up anything, just get out straight away. So we did get into our car and we drove here, which is about 2.5 miles. And we've been here all night. Frightening. Because of the recent wildfires in Spain and France, and the horrifying images of cars burned out and holiday homes burned out and lives lost, we were very apprehensive.
The fire broke out on Dunwich Heath near Leiston and comes as the Environment Agency announced that the east of England, including Suffolk, was part of England where drought has been declared. It's also spread to RSPB Minsmere. Experts say the fire will be hugely consequential for rare wildlife like butterflies and birds, with the habitat likely to take years to recover. This morning, people were being briefed on the ever-changing situation.
So he's still burning quite profusely, and at the moment, what they are saying is that there is no opportunity to allow anybody further.
People are being told to avoid the area, and with no sign of significant rain in the forecast, the drought continues to create a high risk of wildfires. Alison Freeman, BBC News.
Prime Minister Andy Burnham has said Suffolk Fire and Rescue Service will have all of the support it needs to deal with the very serious wildfire in the county. He was speaking on a visit to Barrow in the northwest of England. Take a listen.
Well, obviously, we got the situation under close monitoring. I'm receiving regular updates. It is a very serious incident. I will make sure that Suffolk Fire and Rescue Service have all of the support, the mutual aid from other services that they need, and any other resources that need to be brought to bear. It is a serious incident, but we are watching it very closely indeed, and all of the support needed will be there.
And here there were an estimated 2,877 heat-associated deaths during May and June this year. That's almost double the figure reported for the whole of the summer last year. The new figures from the UK Health Security Agency come as drought is declared in more than half of England, along with parts of Wales. The National Farmers Union says agriculture is on a knife edge with the recent hot, dry weather threatening food production.
It really is having a critical and immediate impact. Arable farmers, as you've already said, yields are down. For livestock farmers, they're very concerned now. They're using their winter feed at the moment to feed livestock because there's absolutely no grass. And then for those growing our horticultural crops, potatoes, field-scale vegetable, fruit crops, where they rely on irrigation, There are many of them that either have run out of water or are very concerned they will run out of water. But they just don't like these temperatures. Potatoes, once it gets above 25 degrees, they completely shut down. So it's going to dramatically reduce the yields of many of our crops and create a real financial pressure for farmers as well.
Well, the drought has, of course, hit many parts of Europe, as we've been reporting, including France, exacerbating the wildfire risk. Let's speak now to Jonathan Turban, the owner and founder of Bordeaux Wine Trails, a company that provides tours of vineyards and visits to wine estates in the Bordeaux region. Jonathan, thank you very much for joining us on BBC News. And begin, if you would, by telling us what you've seen and experienced of the fires in the region.
Hi, thank you for inviting me. Yeah, I'm actually happy to share actual facts about what's happening. So we are Bordeaux-based. We're literally half an hour driving from the actual heart of the fires. The fire has been maintained for the last 3 days, so it means it's increasing. They're doing an amazing job, you know, the firefighters and volunteers and all that. Yeah, I mean, Bordeaux is quite empty at the moment, and there have been some pretty bad communication from our local governments about what's happening really in Bordeaux. I mean, the fire actually take place near the shore, which is like 40 minutes from Bordeaux. And we got a bit of smoke here a few days ago, but that's about it. Yeah.
OK, but it has obviously heavily impacted your business, which really relies, I think about 95% of it is tourism from outside France, isn't it? To bring people around the region to experience the food and wine. Just give us a sense of the impact there's been on the normal numbers that you would expect.
So business-wise, it's been huge for us. As soon as, announcements been made on social network and medias, we lost, just this week, we lost 80% of our business, 80. We lost 50% of next week, and the worst is actually bookings are on hold. So people are just waiting for an actual strong message about, the fire have been fixed, and I can book my holidays, So that's that whole, fear, I guess, among people who book their holidays in our region, thinking, oh, well, if I come here, will my train will happen? Will the flights, will my plane will happen? Will my plane land? We got clients calling us every day to check on the tours. Are the tours still running? Is the airports open? I mean,
do you have any sense of support for businesses who've been affected by this that might be on offer?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, like usual, just like COVID, there's been announcements, but at the moment we just try to make things work. We should have a partial unemployment fees, given to us, but I've been trying to call them all day. They're not answering. So it's a bit stressful. Well, in the meantime, I just want to tell everyone Bordeaux is fine. Bordeaux is beautiful today. And the Gironde region is a huge region. It's the biggest region in France. So from east to west, it's 120 kilometers. So the vineyard tours we're running, they're like an hour and a half from the actual fire location. This is what the media don't always sweat on.
Yeah, OK. Well, Jonathan, thank you very much for talking to us. I know that your business is offering help for people who've lost their homes. You're offering a minivan and a driver to help people get around and try to sort things out. So well done for that. Jonathan Turban from Bordeaux Wine Trails.
Thank you. I just want to say just one last thing. Thank you very much. And thank you to all the farmers, the volunteers and the firefighters who are doing the job, because promoting our business will be misplaced. We're fine. We're alive. We're still breathing. And I feel really bad about the people that lost their house. So just big thoughts towards them. And come to Bordeaux. Everything is fine here.
OK, Jonathan Turban, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Well, the UN's Climate Change Executive Secretary has warned that climate-driven disasters are reaching what he called nightmare proportions. Simon Steele has said the climate alarm is blaring from every direction and that addiction to fossil fuels is to blame. Let's speak to our climate reporter, Esme Stallard. Esme, tell us more about what Simon Steele has been saying.
Yeah, he's been making these warnings all week as we see this quite severe extreme weather around the globe. He said for some countries it's reaching national emergency levels. I mean, without sounding like a laundry list, because these are really serious events, let me just run through some of the countries that are facing extreme weather. We've obviously heard there about the wildfires in France and Spain. We've now seen 250,000 hectares burnt across that area. France is continuing to break its record levels of fires, and that is just going up. We obviously saw wildfires break out in Canada, causing smoke to enter cities in the eastern areas of the US. We're seeing temperatures approach 50 degrees in parts of North Africa, and Japan is on its longest streak of 40-degree days in a row. So, as he says, climate change is blaring from all corners of the world.
What is he proposing to be done about it? We know what needs to be done, don't we? It's getting those plans put into action in a unified way, because we know that in different parts of the world, not every government is on board with the idea of the human causes of climate change to the same extent as some governments are.
Exactly. We've seen a change in the political setup of some countries, which means that consensus around climate change has shifted. I mean, his message is quite clear: use less fossil fuels. We know that burning fossil fuels produces these warming greenhouse gas emissions, which is driving up global temperatures, making these heat waves more severe, more frequent and long-lasting. Of course, back in the Paris Climate Agreement more than a decade ago now, countries committed to trying to keep global temperature rise below 1.5 degrees. We are approaching 1.4. It is highly likely that we will miss that target, and scientists would say we are starting to see the impacts of failing to keep those temperatures from rising.
OK, Esme, thank you very much for that. Esme Stallard.